Kim Jong Un is the leader of North Korea, who has imposed strange and strict laws even for the most private matters of his people, while he enjoys his life to the fullest. Kim Jong Un is a leader who has gathered a group of the most beautiful girls in Korea for his harem, and named this group Pleasure. He has even formed a team of 130 doctors called the Longevity Institute to take care of the health of this dictator leader. After the death of his father, Kim Jong Il, on December 19, 2011, he became the successor as the leader of North Korea, secretly studying under the name Pak at the International School of Bern in Switzerland. Interestingly, he was once severely punished for possessing and viewing an adult magazine at school. From Kim Jong Un's personal life, it is known that he married Ri Sol-ju in 2009 and has 3 children, having only revealed his daughter Ju-ae to date. It is interesting to note that the people of North Korea are forced to love the Moranbong Band, an all-female music group that is very popular, even if they have never heard their music. The reason is that all the women in this group were chosen by Kim Jong Un himself. The North Korean leader is addicted to Swiss cheese and spends thousands of dollars each year importing it, despite most of his people suffering from malnutrition. Additionally, Kim Jong Un's hairstyle is considered attractive by many East Asian women. You might not believe it, but many Chinese girls find this leader attractive and travel to North Korea each year to become intimate with him. This narcissistic leader is generally suspicious of everyone. He removed his uncle and brother from power out of fear of a coup. His fear and suspicion have led him to cut his own hair, as he does not trust any barber with scissors. For several years after coming to power, he did not trust any girl. While previous North Korean leaders had their own harems, Kim Jong Un believed these girls and women would discover a leader's secrets and weaknesses. However, starting in 2015, he could no longer suppress his desires and ordered the formation of a pleasure group, similar to those of previous leaders. By Kim Jong Un's command, high-ranking officials select tall and beautiful girls from schools. Any girl chosen for this group cannot refuse and can only see her family one day a week. Kim Jong Un personally selects the most beautiful girls from those chosen by senior officials for his own company. Additionally, according to import data from the country, it has been revealed that Kim Jong Un spends about $5 million a year on lingerie for these girls, who must always be ready to entertain the North Korean leader and be grateful for this honor. It should also be noted that according to one of the girls who escaped from Korea, members of the pleasure team receive $4,000 in salary, and if they perform well, the government provides household items for their families. Besides being attracted to beautiful Korean women, Kim Jong Un loves various delicious foods, alcohol, and cigarettes. This makes the work of the longevity group challenging, since this leader always struggles with weight issues and suffers from diabetes and high blood pressure. In conclusion, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for staying with us until now. This train is specifically for Kim Jong Un, the leader of North Korea. He almost never leaves his country, but when he does, he travels on a train known as the Mobile Fortress. He has just left Pyongyang, and his destination is Vladivostok, Russia, to meet with Putin. This journey takes about 2 days and covers more than 1,000 kilometers overland. Kim has many enemies, and the train is escorted by 2 other trains. One of the trains moves ahead to check for potential threats, such as explosives placed on the tracks or ambushes on either side. The other train protects the rear and is filled with heavily armed security forces, ready to rescue the supreme leader if necessary. A helicopter also accompanies the convoy throughout the journey, monitoring the area. The train, known as Tiangu, has bulletproof glass and reinforced walls and floors designed to withstand explosions. It contains several compartments with heavy weapons and is equipped with anti-aircraft missiles, as well as anti-tank missiles, and 2 machine guns to fend off attacks from both sides of the tracks. If all defenses fail, the train carries a helicopter for Kim's escape. All these features make Kim's train very secure. but also quite heavy. Tiangu can only travel at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, or even slower, due to the poor condition of the railway in North Korea. When the train passes through a station, all other lines are shut down. There are 20 railway stations in the country that have been exclusively built for this train. Due to its slow speed, Kim may be on the road for several consecutive days, similar to this specific trip to meet with Putin. On the train, he has access to everything he needs to run his country day and night. An office with a desk, laptop, television, fax machine, satellite phone, and maps of China and the Korean peninsula on the walls. The train also has a lounge and meeting room. The interior design of the train is quite diverse. Most rooms are completely white with shiny wooden floors, light green and pink sofas, azure and turquoise curtains, flower-shaped lamps, and zebra-patterned chairs. However, the standout feature of the train is its restaurant. In this restaurant, you can find various delicious dishes from Korean, Chinese, Japanese, and French cuisines. Kim does not get bored during his travels because the train has a singer who performs personally for the supreme leader. When it's time to disembark from the train, 2 armored Mercedes limousines are ready for the final leg of the journey. Traveling by train is a long-standing tradition in the Kim family. The Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, where the remains of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong Un are buried, is located right next to life-sized models of their personal train cars. It is even said that there is a painting of Kim Jong Il proudly standing next to his train. The use of trains as a safety measure began because it was reported that Kim Jong Il was afraid of flying. In 2001, he took a month-long trip by train that extended to Moscow and covered a total of 20,000 kilometers. In 2004, Kim Jong-il's train passed through Yongchun Station near the border with China. A few hours later, a massive explosion killed about 160 people and injured another 300. It was reported that after this incident, security for the train was significantly increased. The name Tiangu, which means sunlight, has become a powerful symbol for North Korea. It is said that Kim Jong-un uses it to present himself to the people and connect with them. Unlike the President of the United States, who travels in a giant jet in North Korea, the Tiangu train emphasizes how uniquely isolated this country is. Its supreme leaders rarely, or perhaps never, visit most parts of the world. North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, is often described as one of the world's most secretive and tightly controlled states. While the government projects an image of unity, discipline, and ideological purity, the reality behind the scenes is far more complex. Understanding the country requires looking beyond its public ceremonies, military parades, and carefully crafted propaganda to examine its social structure, political mechanisms, and everyday life. At the center of North Korea's internal system is the Songbun classification, a social ranking structure that categorizes citizens based on perceived loyalty to the state. Although rarely mentioned in official discourse, this system quietly shapes education access, employment opportunities, and even the right to live in certain areas. Those in the core class enjoy better housing and political privileges, while people categorized in the wavering or hostile classes have limited prospects and face constant surveillance. This hierarchy influences nearly every aspect of life, making social mobility extremely difficult. Another key element behind the scenes is the state's internal surveillance network. While North Korean media portrays society as unified around the leadership, much of daily life is influenced by a pervasive culture of monitoring. Neighborhood watch units, known as Inminban, keep track of residents' behavior. Participation in political meetings, loyalty rituals, and community labor is routinely documented. This environment creates a strong incentive for citizens to maintain compliance, as failure to meet ideological expectations can result in penalties or loss of status. Economically, North Korea's public narrative emphasizes self-reliance under the philosophy of Yuche. However, the reality is that informal markets, known locally as Jangmadang, play a crucial role in people's survival. These markets expanded significantly during the famine of the 1990s, when the state's distribution system collapsed. Today, despite government attempts to regulate them, the markets serve as essential hubs where citizens buy food, clothing, and household goods. Many families rely on these economic activities far more than on official state employment, revealing a gap between the country's ideological messaging and practical everyday life. Behind the closed doors of government institutions, power is concentrated among a small elite centered around the ruling Workers' Party and the Kim family. Decision-making processes are opaque, and high-ranking officials are expected to demonstrate absolute loyalty. Political purges, though rarely acknowledged publicly, reflect internal struggles and serve as a warning to those within the system. The leadership maintains control through a combination of political rewards, strict hierarchy, and state ideology. Information control is another major feature of North Korea's hidden reality. Access to foreign media is restricted, and radio devices are often pre-tuned to government frequencies. Despite this, illegal consumption of outside content, especially Chinese and South Korean films and dramas, has increased over the years. USB drives smuggled across the border have become a quiet conduit for alternative information. Although the government imposes harsh penalties, demand for foreign media suggests a growing desire among some citizens for a broader understanding of the world. Daily life for ordinary citizens varies widely depending on region, class, and position. In rural areas, infrastructure is limited, and many communities deal with unstable electricity and shortages of basic supplies. In contrast, Pyongyang receives more investment and serves as a showcase city for visitors. Yet even there, access to modern conveniences is not universal, and much of the city's appearance is carefully curated for external audiences. Despite these challenges, many North Koreans find ways to maintain personal relationships, celebrate cultural traditions, and pursue small aspirations. Families gather for holidays, students attend schools decorated with ideological slogans, and workers participate in both state events and informal economic activities. Life behind the scenes is neither entirely bleak nor entirely controlled. It is a mixture of resilience, restriction, and adaptation. Looking beyond the official image of North Korea reveals a society shaped by a complex interplay of ideology, surveillance, and pragmatism. While the government continues to present a narrative of unity and strength, everyday reality shows a nation where individuals quietly navigate the boundaries between state control and personal agency. Understanding this hidden landscape is essential for gaining a fuller picture of one of the most enigmatic countries in the world.